If you have no time for tutorials, but you want to learn one thing that will help your entire music production career, learn this today. I promise it will be worth it. When you start learning music production, this is the first thing that you see and learn, the frequency against the volume levels. And right after comes the first thing that you learn about mixing. Don't have two sounds that occupy the same spot on this chart. And then you will learn that you have to EQ out crashing frequencies. But this is only half true, because we are looking to the picture. In reality, it is more like a 3D cube. We will have the sounds that have frequency, volume or loudness, and the transient behavior in time domain. What does that mean? That means you can indeed have very similar sounds at the same spot, as long as they are placed well in time domain. And you don't even need to EQ them because they're completely separated in the time domain. But just understanding that time is as important as frequency will change how you see mixing your tracks and make you get much better mixes overall. You actually learn about the time very early on when you produce electronic dance music, simply because of the concept of kick side chaining. When you listen to this, our kick sub part and the bass or the sub bass actually occupies the same area, and the common knowledge will be bring down the volume of your bass when the kick hits, what we call side chaining. You will take a compression like this, side chain the kick, and when the kick hits, bring down the volume of the sub bass. If we go back to our cube, that means that when the kick hits, there is no sub bass. When there is sub bass, there is no kick. We are actually thinking about the time domain. And even though producers learn about this really early on, they don't consider the implications of this in a real mix. What do I mean? Let's take a look at this now. Listen to this. It's not working really, but before we fixing the issue, let's identify the issue. We have one sound, this sound that is plucky, that means that dissipates very fast, dump, 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 up and down fast. And we can say that it has a concentration here with the root harmonics. And then we have the second type of sound over here. Contrary to the other one, this is a fuller and much more sustained sound. The loudness stays similar all the time almost. And the most common mixing technique here used, people just boost this and go to pad and cut this. But it is not the smartest solution, simply because we completely changed the character of the pad sound due to having a constant frequency alteration with the bell EQ. We done? Wait. Which means that if you really like the pad sounds before, you probably don't do it anymore. The smarter solution is thinking about the time domain. Because we have this plucky sound, this is the only time we really need EQ to come in and duck that area from the pad sound. What you can do, take a multi-band compression or an EQ. For illustration purposes, this is easier to show, so I'm gonna take this. We put this on the pad and side chain it to the plug. Now what we want is when the plug hits, duck this area where the meat of the plug sound comes from. If I solo the pad so you can hear the effect of ducking, we hear listener's ear won't really hear it easily because that area is filled by the plug, so we don't feel like that got lost from the pads. And when the plug disappears, pull it back. We had the classic pad sounds there. Now we turn into this. This is only possible because we realized we don't need to constantly apply things. We just need the changes in those short timing slots, and we can keep the rest as we like. If you feel like you are getting value out of this video, please consider like and subscribe. But sometimes things are a bit different, and you can't solve everything with time, and things can get a bit static. Listen to this. These two sounds They are both sustained all the time and they occupy the same space. And these are the times actually you have to consider that classic cuts and boosts. In this case, if you listen here and here, first you would realize which is more important for you. For me, this ARP sound has a more concentrated area here. That means that I can actually use this space for my ARP and open that space up from the other sound. So I'm thinking something like this. And I'll just duplicate this here and reverse it. And listen again. Much better. Even though this is sustained sound, sometimes you can still see a bit transient behavior. So you can still use at least a little bit of what we did with the timing. So opening up these tiny pockets. When there's no clear time differences, the adjustments that you can make will be much smaller. So in this case, I would consider much smaller sidechain. And I would use much faster attack and release with look ahead. And now we have this. Just a short break, because Audimee launched actually 2 new things that I think quite powerful. The first one is called Harmony Maker. So we have this vocal, right? You are the sweetest paradise. Let's go for female unison soul stack. You are the sweetest paradise. This is just beautiful. Paradise. From here, forever in your eyes. All the ears, the stereo. Could ever put a price. Bunch of different presets that you can just go through and click a harmony in a single click. But there's another thing too. One thing that I like to do lately, I will sing myself and then convert it to the AI. Let's take same vocal. An option is called unpresses to make the vocal like taking rove. She sound like this. Let's just convert from here to here. You are sweetest paradise I saw. If you need this type of help, check them out.